Alright, a bit of shush, please. It's Mom's turn to whinge. I can't remember anything I was going to talk about because I'm so frustrated. So let's just go ahead and get into it. This is the full theme to Bit of Shush Please, and it is sampling a bit of the brilliant and strange Netta, who won Eurovision, I believe, last year. So here we are. A bit of shush, please. Interesting bit of trivia, to me anyway. Oh, well, that sound was the text alert from my husband. What the hell? The theme? Okay, anyway, I can't get anything to work. I am so frustrated because I am still trying to work out this whole GarageBand or using voice memo. I'm making little theme songs like that, and I'm having trouble from one podcast to the next in getting it to sync up. I don't know. I can't seem to. GarageBand will not let me do anything longer than just a short period. I think 600 and something beats. I don't know. And Garage or Band Lab, I can't get it to move so that I can put something in front of it. The theme song in front of it. So I'm having to do this just, completely playing the music for the theme on my phone. So that it was hard to do. I couldn't do that really when I went out earlier, but I know that was stuff I was going to whinge about, but I can't even remember what it is. I'll get all this figured out, though. It is difficult for me right now because I've never, been into any of this. My friend Rena did some sound recording a few years back, and she was doing a really good job, and I'm doing okay, I think, for what I'm doing and never having done it before. But why am I having to use like 4 different fucking apps to make one podcast? It's just frustrating. But everything's frustrating. And now that surgery's over, it's I'm like, okay, that's over. But now there's still a million other things on the list I've got to do. I've got to get it back to the writing. I don't know if I'll do it tonight. Well, maybe it's only 6:30. But I will definitely be getting into doing some editing tonight, and then some writing tomorrow, so I can get things underway. But this is the after show now to Fake Fiction, which is the behind the scenes show to Morning Serial, which has yet to start, but it will soon. I got to lead up to it. Got to give you some background, and also hopefully a little bit of anticipation for what's to come. Sorry, I am actually kind of on location on the computer, but I can't pay attention to that. This is going to be short because I'm just kind of introducing it, and I don't know why I'm doing this to fill time. I've mentioned it, get my stories out there because, I do love feedback, and I don't care, what kind it is, because I can ignore what I want to ignore, and everything's subjective anyway. That's fine. Not everybody likes everything. I understand that. And as long as you understand that, then you'll understand that your hurtful words don't fucking bother me. So you're wasting your time. And actually, there's some people I'm messaging that out to right now. You're wasting your time if you think you're going to worry me or keep me hid in a corner or something, because you should have researched me before you came after me, because that's not me. I don't care. But Clumsy Hippo Studios is my studio. I'm not in it right now because I'm still kind of recovering, and it is a cramped space, and that I love the poof cushion, but I think it might be still a little more uncomfortable. But I'm in the living room and still under the Whispering Chicken Productions, and whether I'm in and out or out of the studio. And so everything will just be put under the moniker of the Clumsy Hippo Studios. I know it's hard to understand on the theme song, but I'm working on that. Working on everything. Just bear with me because it's getting together bit by bit. Except for this stupid fucking apps that I'm having to work with trying to get a goddamn song or theme or whole goddamn podcast made. I don't understand. What am I supposed to use? What do I use? Because nothing's completely working. It's like like things are breaking down or something. I don't know. But I don't care. Yeah, it doesn't. I gotta remember. It doesn't really matter. So these are, getting out there. My very first one, which was the most basic one I did because I didn't know anything, turned out fine. So I can't worry about it too much. I got other things to worry about. I've got to check up for my surgery on Tuesday. We got the diabetic cat to take for her glucose curve on Thursday. I'm trying to piece together something online on this thing I'm doing, and it's taking time, but I'm almost done with the majority of it. I try to find ways of escape now, and it's becoming easier and easier as people are seemingly escaping me. So that's fine. Do what you want. You do you. That's a new thing, I guess the kids say. And I will do me, because if you want to make a choice like that, and you've done it before, then it's not going to be easy, if possible, to do it a third time. So I've been cutting metaphorical things. I'm cutting ties that are either toxic or just creating negative energy inside of me, and I try to be really positive, and it's really, really hard, but I've gotten a lot better at it. But I will be negative a lot too. And yes, I said I had pulled off of social media. I don't know why I even went back on some of it. Facebook is just horrible place. And I'm not even talking about, I didn't really even have people that, I hardly had any, connections on any of my pages. I don't know why Instagram or my blog are so slow, but I don't know, maybe blog is a bit passe, and Instagram, well, I really don't care. I'd rather, that was for me to look at other people, what they're doing, and what you doing? And, see some, not the stupid, complete feed full of selfies, but, people that I like, who I look up to, or who I enjoy, watching or hearing, and seeing, the normal thing. Not like Olivia Colman said, nobody wants to. Who wants to know what I have for breakfast every day? Yeah, that's true. But Olivia, I would love, it would be great to, see you take some pictures. You don't have to do the whole, diary type of Instagram thing, because Olivia Colman's hilarious. And I can imagine what kind of things she would come up with to take pictures of. And they don't even have to be, I don't know. I know she's not going to hear this, but, which reminds me, I do have to make this note that this podcast and my other podcasts are in no way affiliated with the David Tennant podcast that has recently emerged, and it is wonderful. He's a brilliant man. I love him, and he was the doctor, even though I hated the fact that when he became the doctor, suddenly the doctor was younger than me. But besides Doctor Who, it's Broadchurch, and I haven't seen the what was the Netflix series? I never saw that because I went through a large period of time that I have just recently kind of come out of. I don't know, it's weird. I come out of, go back into it, come out of, go back into it, because shit keeps happening. And I'll go into that some later, like, people trying to kill you or robbing you and messing with your mind. But, it's okay because I'm okay. And I'm just detaching more. Frustrations of social media, like watching people on Facebook fighting about ridiculous things, and again, I'll go back to what I say. All we got to do is agree to disagree. That's all we got to do. Okay, nobody else has to believe the way you do, and to expect them to, that's very narcissistic. You're just, it says more about you than it does about them. About what you get angry about what they say or do. But even Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I'm gone. I'm gone. I mean, I'm not. I don't want to sound petty, so I'm not going to actually go into the reasons why. Last week I came off of them, Facebook especially, but I don't want to. I mean, it like with feedback. Okay, and I was mentioning this. I love to get feedback, and I get a lot of great feedback about my stories and stuff, but most, of them are, people I know, friends, family, whatever. And so, I kind of expect it, but I don't know, it almost at times feels disingenuous when, just almost as if they're throwing platitudes out to make me feel like, I've done something good. So I guess wanting to get things out there that perhaps elicit a bit of a response from strangers or anything like that would be helpful to me. Constructive criticism is great, and I am completely open to taking that on board and excuse me, and adjusting or revising things. I don't have any problems doing that, because if I love working, in team groups in school or work or whatever like that, bouncing ideas. Because I think one of the best, I can come up with some great ideas. And I think where I shine, though, is taking an idea and making it better or more productive or something, depending on work or creative. But I do that with myself, though, too. Well, wait a minute. What about doing it like this? I'm not fearful about changing things in what I'm writing. If I decide partway through or whatever that, hey, this isn't going. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. Or, ooh, wait a minute. What if this happened? And then have to make some adjustments. But I already mentioned that I love to lay myself little challenges instead of traps. Where like I'm riding along and suddenly I decide to take away one of the person's arms. I mean, that's just, I've not done that, but it could be drastic like that, where something fundamental changes, and I go with the flow after that. So I do the same with with other people giving constructive criticism or say, hey, this just didn't make sense or didn't quite fit or something like that. And because when you look at something and read it that you're writing over and over again, it becomes kind of invisible almost. The basics, the devil's in the details, and they become invisible when you're going it over and over, because you become familiar with it, and you start kind of skating over the sentences and realize that, whoops, hey, wait a minute, what did that say? And you make mistakes that way. But when if somebody brings it up or says, hey, well, what about this? Or like my friend Renee, hey, why don't you put me in the story? I'm open to it and I'll do it. Like I said, constructive. If it's just, flinging mud and insults, then, you can fuck right off, because that's where I need a bit of shush from you, because you're, pointless, and, useless. It's like people that are on Facebook, again, getting get into arguments, whether it's politics, religion, whatever. And you can only throw out so many you're wrongs without backing it up before you just sound like one of the mad people who I believe are lessening in numbers since 2016, realizing that this man they idolized or thought was some type of savior turned out to be nothing but the devil's turd. So hopefully, they more and more people will realize that they're in the wrong. I'm sorry, but your opinion's valid for yourself, but you're in the majority. You're in the minority. I'm sorry, you are definitely in the minority. I mean, the world shows it, and you can't change the world to suit the way you want things. You can't do that. It's impossible. You cannot do it. And if you've got a nation of people that are moving in a direction, and you are one of a dozen who are trying to fight it, yeah, good luck. You're gonna, you'll die sad and angry and frustrated because you're not getting anywhere. Because what you need to do is you have to adapt to make it work for you. And if that means ignoring the things that you don't like, fine, ignore them. They're not going to miss you. But what you don't do is attack them constantly, telling them they're wrong or they're unchristian or whatever, which the very act of doing that is unchristian. So that was just an example, though. So yeah, you got to adapt, and that's part with my writing. If it's not working, I have fought the story before, trying to get it to where I wanted it to go, and I'm like, finally, just let go, and go in this other direction, and make it work for me. And that's what you got to do for the world and the people around you, people you work with. Look, you get paid to work with people. There is no reason why you should fight with them about anything. It's like, okay, I'll say this and I'll shut up because we're already coming up to the 20-minute mark, and I said it would be about 15, 20 minutes. But, I mean, you're getting paid. And there, is no need for you to criticize anybody else while you're at work, because that's not what you're getting paid for. And if your job does something that you don't agree with or you don't like, you don't go into that job and try to change it. You don't go to that job and tell people coming in for your services or whatever that they're not valid as a customer because they don't believe certain things you do, which have nothing to do with their business or their business. It's like, what kind of special stupid are you to think that you are so wonderful that you can base your actions on a religion that teaches the opposite of your actions? So, yeah, just let everybody be what they want to be, because it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't do anything to you. I'll use gay marriages as an example, because recently, at the beginning of the year, I was able to, actually, become married to my husband legally. And that, we all know that's been fought for a long time. We all know that's been fought for a very long time. Roe versus Wade has been fought for a very long time, which, I'll just be very quick and simple. Who the hell do you think you are to tell somebody else, whatever gender, what they have to, what they can or cannot do with themselves? But if you are going against what you are paid to do, then you need to quit your damn job. That's what you need to do. You don't need to try to change your job or try to go against your job and try to break the rules. You're not doing what you were paid to do. And so if you don't like it, get the fuck out of it. And get the fuck out of our lives. Because we don't need you in it, and you're going to be so sad and angry and lonely. Don't they all look sad and angry and lonely? Don't they all? They just all look pitiful and unhappy. And as much as I would love to have a better home, as much as I would love to live in the country somewhere, as much as I would love to live in England, actually, as much as I would love to, have a car, effective insurance and everything. But we live in the city, so it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, it doesn't matter because none of those things matter at all. And what else doesn't matter is what the fuck my neighbor's doing. Unless it affects me. Like when we first moved in here and our downstairs neighbor tore into his wall and spliced into our cable with Xfinity. And they only just happenstance found out, what was going on. When, I got the leasing office to let them into that apartment because he said it might be coming from, somewhere in the line. He's got to go check. And he came back. He's like, yeah, that guy downstairs, I think he got evicted for that. But, that's an example of, where it's infringing on my life, whatever. But otherwise, that's none of my business. I don't care what you do as long as it's not, hurting any animals or children or anybody who is unable to fight for themselves. Those are pretty much where I draw the line. I just don't think that that's another special kind of evil because apparently they are not either smart enough, strong enough, or brave enough to fight the people who could fight back. So, okay, those are my lessons for today. I am very frustrated because of this whole damn recording thing, but I have 2 recordings now, and they are just about to get posted up on the pods. So, this was the first British Please after show to Fake Fiction, and I will see you, I guess, Monday, because since this is the after show to Fake Fiction, that means 2 on Monday. That's why this one's short. See you next time. Bye.